Show me.
Hello everybody, Martial Arts Film Freak here, and I am back from a bit of a hiatus. I spent nearly a month editing a video for a bigger name in the martial arts action space in this community, and finished with that, and I'm done. So I gotta play some catch up. So I'm just going to, run through the 4 or 5 martial arts films that I've seen this month or recently in theaters, whatever. And sort of just give some thoughts, give some reviews, just a bit of a catch-up. Here's 5 movies that, I think it's 5, it might be 4, I didn't count, that I watched recently, and my thoughts. Let's go back to, I believe it was like the last week of April, where I watched Polite Society. Polite Society is a 2023 film directed by Nida Manzoor, starring Priya Kansara, Ritu Arya Renu, Brindle, many people in this movie. Serafina Bey, Ella Brucholeri, lots of people, and just many more that I'm not going to go through here. Where's the villain? I can't. It's not. Is she even on IMDb? I think it's maybe Rika Jan Charian. Yeah, Indian names. I don't go to those very often. Still kind of difficult. I say Indian. May not be Indian. Middle Eastern area. Maybe Pakistani. I don't know. I apologize. This movie is about 2 sisters who are best friends. One's older, one's still in school, and the older sister falls for a rich boy, and the younger sister's not into it, not happy about it, and is determined to get to the bottom of the relationship and break them up when she finds there may be actually some evil intentions behind the engagement, and she also wants to be a stuntman, so she's training in martial arts and falling a lot. And I was very excited for this movie. Sadly, I was a bit disappointed. I found parts of it enjoyable. I really enjoyed the relationship between the sisters. They were a whole lot of fun, especially towards the beginning when you're seeing all their camaraderie. There's a great scene where she's pulling her older sister who's being lazy out of bed, and her older sister's like holding on to the bed for dear life. It's very fun. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed her relationship with her friends, the antics they got up to trying to break them up. My issues were just whenever it came to the fight scenes, they were just a mess. It was just a lot of really choppy editing, hiding performances, which is annoying because there's a fun dance number. I say dance number, it's she's at a wedding and she's performing a dance, and it's a very good scene. It looks great. The costumes are beautiful. It's a good looking movie. I love the costume design. But this dance number is super well shot. It's great. It's like a sweeping, seeing the angles. It looks wonderful. The camera stayed on the shot, and then there's a fight scene, and fight scenes are the exact same thing as a dance scene. It's choreography. Just capture it. And clearly, they were hiding probably performances of the actors for the fight scenes, because where we had a super clear, crisp, clean fight dance scene, the fight scenes are just all choppy and hard to watch. This movie's also bonkers. This movie's nuts. Like the plot, the evil plot that she finds behind the engagement, it's bonkers, but it works. It's crazy, it's out there, but it works. I'm going to give Polite Society, what did I even give this on Letterboxd here? I gave on Letterboxd 2.5 out of 5. Worth a watch one time, but don't get excited for good fight scenes, but enjoy the characters. Next up, let's go to Young Ip Man. Young Ip Man, I know I've said before I'm done doing Ip Man movies, but this one, like, the trailer looked kind of good. It won me over, and so I decided to watch the movie. Young Ip Man is a 2020 film, came out this year on Haya TV, go watch that. Directed by Liming Lee. So many people, I don't even think, it's one of those movies where it's super, like, obscure on IMDb and there's barely any information on it. It stars Feng Bin Mo, Jonathan Coss Reed. I can't tell you from the IMDb who is playing Ip Man here. So screw it, let's go with it. This is Die Hard. A man with a team of terrorists or young Ip Man, of course. It takes place in 1917 or something like that. And Ip Man is at school. This group of terrorists gets in the school, kidnaps a bunch of the kids, plants bombs all over the school. And they're doing it for the money. They want the gold. Meanwhile, you got a young Ip Man wandering around the school. He ain't putting up with it. There is some good stuff in here. I really enjoyed the dialogue between him and the villain. The villain used to be a young Ip Man, a child Ip Man's chess teacher. So Ip Man tells the bad guy, like, watch this pawn take down your whole kingdom. And I was like, that's pretty badass. But it's just Die Hard. I mean, there's many versions of it. This is another one. This was fine. Young Ip Man actor was fine. Everybody in this movie's fine. It's like an hour and 18 minutes. It's a breeze. You realize once you're like 20 minutes in, it's like, oh, I only have like 40 more minutes of this movie, pretty much. The action is all right. There's not a lot of impact to the hits and the movement. It's shot well enough. The choreography is all right. There is a fun scene where towards the end where we get like two Wing Chun guys against I want to say Hungar, but I'm probably totally wrong. A Wushu guy. It's fine. There's some good stuff in there. Maybe worth a watch if you have Haya. I mean, you got Haya, you may as well watch it. If you find it at Walmart, maybe don't pick it up because I've seen it at Walmart. I don't have a lot of notes here. This movie it's a bland, low budget kung fu movie. There's some okay stuff. Maybe give it a chance. I'm gonna give Ip Man. I haven't even marked this in Letterboxd yet, so I gotta think. I'm gonna give a young Ip Man. 2 out of 5. It's all right. Give it a try if you want. Like I said, if you have Haya, just watch it. Let's talk about The Foggy Mountain, another film I watched on Haya. I believe this is an Indonesian film. Actually, it might be Vietnamese. I'm very confused on some of this. With this movie, it was a little hard to figure out. Let me see. It'll say the country of origin on IMDb. Where is it at? Vietnam. This is a Vietnamese film. It feels so Indonesian for some reason. It feels like some of the low-budget stuff Indonesia's been putting out. This movie was directed. The Foggy Mountain is a 2020 film. Again, came out this year on Haya, I believe. Was directed by Phan An and Ken Din, and stars a plethora of people, including Peter Pham, Truong Din Huang, Simon Cook. I was excited for Simon Cook. I'm a big Simon Cook fan. Truk May, and several other people. This is a very simple plot. A man who is a pit fighter, pretty much, his wife was taken from him long ago because I think he refused to throw a fight, so some gang boss killed his wife. He retreats to the mountains to his some martial arts instructor out in the mountains who is being terrorized by a gang who it just coincidentally is led by the same guy that killed his wife. So a group of people from this sort of village, this area, have been kidnapped, and he says, well, I'll go get them back. So he goes, gets them, frees them, and the most of the movie is like their trek back and defending themselves from the gang who is trying to come get them. Very simple plot. I feel like I took forever to explain it, but it's super simple. There are some okay fights, and as I say that, can't really give you one that stuck in my brain too much. Like I said, I'm a Simon Cook fan, but even Simon Cook really did nothing here that I found very memorable. Literally, my Letterboxd review. This is the impact this movie had on me, and I probably gave it too good a score, maybe. I gave Foggy Mountain 2.5 stars. My review, I typically try to give a good little explanation on my decision. My review simply says, standard plot, okay enough fights. And those okay enough fights did nothing for me. Now looking back on it, it's been a good week or two since I watched this. I'm going to drop that 2.5 just down to like a 1.5, I think. Just based on how much this movie stuck with me. Already forgot most of it. Let's jump from that to a major highlight of the month, I suppose, and that is the Netflix Korean film Kill Boksoon. Kill Boksoon is a 2023 Korean film, again on Netflix. You should go check it out. It's there. Directed by Sung Hyun Byun, starring Isom. Okay, that's a one name person. I appreciate it. That's some charisma right there to have one name. Willis Chung, John Do-yeon, Fahim Fazli, Hwang Jun-min, and just so many other people here. That's a big cast. It was a good movie. I liked it a lot. This was great. This was fantastic. Korea been killing it since I don't know when. Like, you know, I'd go back to my first Korean film being Old Boy. I probably watched it in like 2007 when I was way too young to watch it, but it came out in 2003. There's probably some stuff before that. When was like Arahan? That was like early 2000s. Fighter in the Wind, was that Korean? Korea's great. Korea is like, I say it's like one of the it's like one of the most underappreciated markets, I guess. I think it's just it's appreciated by like film snobs and martial arts fans and people who appreciate foreign cinema, but like mainstream fans, moviegoers, they need to pay attention to Korea, because Korea's been on top of their game for a solid 20 years, maybe more. Kill Bok-soon is about a single mother, middle-aged woman who is an assassin. She works for sort of this organization that it's an organization of assassins. It's very strange. I really like their thing. They like record, or like, I guess they don't exactly record like their kills, but like, you know, everything makes the news, so they call their kills the show. So like somebody from the organization will be like, I really enjoyed the show you put on the other day. And like there's younger assassins in training who look up to her and they're like, I want to put shows on like you do. It's a kind of interesting world like that. And it's the action is phenomenal. The drama is crazy. There's a wonderful story with her daughter. There's also, of course, story with the organization and maybe her trying to get out of it. Fantastic stuff. There's so many good action scenes in this movie, but my favorite one is like her and a younger student fighting like a bar of like other assassins, and it gets to a point where they're both like backed up to a wall, and the camera is going through two doors, like checking in on how each fight's going. How's the fight going over here? Back through this door. How's this fight going? Back through this door. How's this fight going? And it's just a continuous shot going around. It's one of the most interesting things I've seen in a while since John Wick Chapter 4 with the overhead shot. It was awesome. I love this line of dialogue, or this exchange she has with her first kill at the beginning of the movie. It's this like Yakuza guy, and so she gives him a katana because she says, you know, I could have killed you in your sleep. I want this to be a fair fight. I thought it'd be fun. So he goes into this whole diatribe, this whole monologue about how the samurai like believed their swords were the holy grail. They worshipped their swords. Their swords were a part of their religion. He is a samurai. He is a modern incarnation of a samurai, and the sword means just as much to him. Cut to her, she's holding a hatchet, and she just lifts it up and says, I bought this online yesterday. Like the kill, the weapon, none of it means anything to her. And it was great. The whole movie's fantastic. I gave Kill Bok-soon on IMDb 4.5. I don't know why. It might be a full 5. Maybe it's just lacking that little something to make it a 5. But I give it a 4.5. Feel pretty good about that. South Korean cinema, again, still on top of its game for 20 years, and Kill Bok-soon is just another home run for me. Go on Netflix. Go watch Kill Bok-soon. It's fantastic. Let's wrap this up with one more movie that I watched, one more martial arts movie that I watched here. And that is Knights of the Zodiac, or Night of the Zodiac, one of those two. Knights of the Zodiac is a 2023 film directed by Tomasz Baginski, starring McKenyu, again, one name kind of guy, very charismatic, Famke Janssen, Madison Eastman, Diego Tinoco, Mark Dacascos, Nick Stahl, such a surprise to see Nick Stahl these days, and Sean Bean. And someone who I was very happy to see, even though you don't like see her face, is Caitlin Hudson. I'm a big fan of Caitlin Hudson. I first saw her on Ultimate Tag game show. She was one of the, like, it's essentially American Gladiators, but it's like parkour and tag. She was one of the gladiators of that show. That was my introduction to her. I then saw her in like YouTube videos with people like Omar Zaki. I follow her on Instagram. She's great. she's like a stand-in for a character. There's a character who just wears a mask the whole time, and she's the body of that character, and somebody else does the voice in a booth somewhere. But whenever you see that character on screen, that's her 100% of the time. So that's really cool. TJ Storm popped up for some reason, and TJ Storm is just why. I like TJ Storm. This movie is about, it's based on the anime Saint Seiya. Something I've only ever seen in my life like 4 episodes of. It's not even that I saw it on TV. I think like my dad or somebody would like rent like a VHS with like 4 episodes from the library. You know, I'm not super engrossed in the lore of Saint Seiya. It's a fun anime to watch. I remember enjoying it. But this is about a woman who is the vessel for the, I guess, soul of Athena, and a man who is played by Ken Seiya, who is destined to be the knight who defends her. And he has to go into training to fulfill that role. She has to be ready for when the soul of Athena takes over her body, because it will be very powerful. Meanwhile, you have Famke Janssen, who is trying to capture the girl to take this power out of her, because if Athena takes over, it will end the world. And you have Sean Bean trying to protect her because he is essentially her father. It's a lot. It is. It's quite a bit. This movie gave me conflicting thoughts, because I enjoyed many parts of it. I thought the action was actually done really well in many scenes, especially the opening fight scene with Nick Stahl. You know, it's trying to be over the top. It's based on an anime. It wants to be over the top, and it does a really good job. I really enjoyed the effects. I enjoyed the wire work. I enjoyed the impacts. Like, there was really good, like, wire work leading to a big impactful hit. I really, really enjoyed that stuff. I enjoyed McKenna's, like, not even like, it's like it's he does like a breakdancing style towards the beginning. It's not even right to call it capoeira. It gave me more like a Melee Youth vibe, if you've seen Raging Phoenix. It was a lot of fun. This movie just feels so early 2000s, and maybe it's seeing Nick Stahl. I don't know. It's the whole shape of the plot and everything. It's the execution. I don't remember how fantastical the anime was, so it feels like this movie is very modern. It's very technological. I don't remember the anime being that. I could be wrong. Someone in the comments, please let me know. But it felt like, when I say early 2000s, like, it felt like it didn't want to commit too hard to being fully faithful to the source material. Think of Dragon Ball Evolution, except much, much better. Not much better, but much better. It doesn't want to commit fully to the fantastical origins of its source material. So it's like, okay, we'll take elements of this, and this, but then put it in a world that feels real. And sometimes that's done really well. Sometimes it's not. Oftentimes it's not. If you're going to do something, if you're going to adapt something, it's mostly best to just commit to it. The reason the original product works so well is because it commits, and it's good. If you commit and make it good, it'll be good. So it's just not solid. It's not. The action doesn't fully hold up towards the end. I didn't care for a lot of what was going on towards the end. It sort of just evolves into a lot of like energy waves, and you know, the choreography still stays good. I really enjoy the team behind it. The team behind it is what really made me want to see this movie. You've got like Andy Chang and this whole great stunt team of people I really enjoy, so that's why I wanted to, you know, donate, I guess vote with my dollars for this movie. I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. If there's a sequel, I will watch it. I was kind of excited at the idea of more of these. I don't know if that'll happen. I am going to give Knights of the Zodiac. Let's give Knights of the Zodiac just a middle of the road 3 out of 5. I enjoyed many elements of it. I didn't love the training. I thought training could have been a bit better, because it has that kung fu movie feel, because like, you know, the character has to go away and do this training before he can fully accept his responsibility. The training could have been a bit better, but I liked many elements of this movie. some of the acting's not great from some of the younger people. That's fine. Yeah, just middle of the road. It was like, it's fine. It's good enough. It feels like if it commits harder to the source material, again, I'm not sure if it's as fantastical as what I maybe think it is, what I remember. But, you know, it's a start, I guess. Middle of the road, 3. Yeah, 3 stars. That's it. I think that's really all I really watched over the course of the last month. I spent a lot of time editing. Again, I edited for a bigger name in the martial arts action space. Was felt very proud to do that. Head over to Facebook, where there's a Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page, Instagram Martial Arts Film Freak, and Tristan_Glover on the Twitter. Also TikTok, Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. I have a Patreon now. That Patreon is just more extra stuff. You know, any proceeds from the Patreon just go to making the YouTube channel better. It's hauls, vlogs, whatevers. I'll try to do some commentaries. Just random stuff, you know. Lots of random stuff going on there. Got some plans, got some fun stuff going on there. Yeah, did you enjoy this video? Tell me in the comment section which one of these was your favorite. It's probably going to be Kill Boxoon, because Kill Boxoon was just so good. Energy died down towards the end of this. I'm about to go to work. That's what it is. I don't want to go to work. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, all that stuff. Please like the video. Comment. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. I'm happy to be back.